Hey, welcome to the Ask Jason question series. If you want to send a question, Todd has sent a question we're going to talk about, but if you want to send a question, just send it to info@thriveal.com and we'll be able to handle anything you send, any strategic question at all. We're going to handle it. We might have to study. We don't know all the answers, but we might have to study. So Todd has asked a cool question. Todd said, does your firm building tips apply to bookkeepers as well as to CPA firms? And we're going to talk a lot about that. But first, we want to say thank you, Bill.com. They are a sponsor of the Ask Jason question series. And they are just, as is common with Bill.com, they're always improving their platform. Now it's an AI-enabled platform. Did you know that? Well, we did, because we are Bill.com users for 8 or 9 years. I don't know. But now they've updated the platform. It's more narrow, concise, easier to find buttons. Everything's easier. And with the AI-enabled parts where it turns invoices into the things you need it to turn them into without you even telling it to do it, it's pretty amazing. So thank you, Bill.com, for sponsoring the Ask Jason question series. Make sure you check them out at Bill.com. So let's jump on what Todd said. Does your firm building tips apply to bookkeepers as well as CPA firms? And they do overall. So a bookkeeping firm, just like a CPA firm, an accounting firm, maybe an advisory firm, are all just service-based firms, basically, internally. And if they want to grow, they get more clients. They sell more of their knowledge. And if they want to grow more, they go get team. And then they teach the team how to sell the knowledge in the way that the firm does. But now when we're talking about CPA firms, accounting firms, bookkeepers, what are we talking about? That's more of an external statement. So the firm building tips we teach are more internal on how to structure and build a company. Now, externally, what they're doing, bookkeepers, CPA firms, advisory firms, is they're positioning in a certain way. So what is positioning? It's basically the location of who you are in the marketplace because of the people you're trying to reach. And most people that say, hey, why don't you get a niche? They're basically they're saying narrow your positioning, but narrow it vertically. A vertical positioning is around an industry. Like we're narrowly positioned as a firm around an industry, creative, digital, and design marketing agencies. These are the agencies we serve. It's a narrow part of the market that we've chosen to serve, and that's being done vertically. Well, there's a way to narrowly position yourself horizontally instead of vertically, horizontally. Horizontally is not around the industry, but it's around the type of service. So a CPA firm is broadly positioned. That is, they do all services: accounting, tax planning, payroll, consulting, audit, financial statements. They'll do anything, but maybe for a narrow vertical. That's kind of how our firm does it. We target a very specific narrow niche, but all our services are broad, so we have not narrowly positioned in a horizontal way. Well, bookkeepers have. Bookkeepers have narrowly positioned themselves on a horizontal methodology, right? They're basically saying, we do bookkeeping. They don't do tax. They don't do consulting. Sometimes they'll do financial statement work and payroll too, but they're more narrow in the services that they give. And in some ways, narrower is easier to find your market. It's easier than what accounting firms or CPA firms do. Now, what's an advisory firm? It's kind of an accounting firm that's narrowed horizontally to the consulting aspects of what they sell, and they're kind of going up market in their service. And that's fine too, because there's a lot of money there. So yeah, the things we talk about in building firms has a lot to do with bookkeeping firms, accounting firms, CPA firms, consulting firms, probably a lot of creative service firms, basically, because all of the internal issues still apply. It's selling a knowledge with processes and rhythms, with knowledgeable people that are part of a culture, and you hire more people. So all of those things are internal, so they do apply. But I hope that description of horizontally positioning and narrowly positioning around the type of service you sell is helpful, Todd, when you're asking, do the firm building tips apply to these different types of firms? And they do. So I hope that helps. Thank you for joining us on the Ask Jason question series. Bill.com, thanks again for sponsoring the Ask Jason question series. You guys send in your questions, send them in to info@thriveal.com, and we'll answer those for you. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time. Take care.